Where do you look when you're looking at the golf ball? This is a question that, I'm not kidding you, if I've been teaching this sport for, 35 years, it's probably been something I've been asked every single year for 35 years. What do you look at? Like, what should I be looking at? And there are many of you that struggle with getting the golf ball up into the air. In other words, there's not really much of a trajectory. You have a difficult time making the solid strike. And it influences where you look at, believe it or not, can influence your golf swing. I know, it sounds crazy, but it's true. By the way, like and subscribe to the channel. I tell you all the time, make sure you like and subscribe to the channel. Now, here's what I'm talking about. So you're standing over this golf ball. What are you looking at? Are you looking at the front of the ball? Are you looking at the top of the ball? Are you looking at the back of the ball? Are you looking at the inside part of the ball? Is it the same every single time? Do I move it around? The answer is everybody's different. That's a terrible answer, I know, but everybody's different. But here's the one thing I don't want you to do. What I don't want you to do is look at the top of the golf ball. When we look at the top of the golf ball, what ends up happening is you can end up getting steeper in that swing. So if I'm looking down there, I'm going to tend to want to hit that thing there. And when I do that, when I look at that, now all of a sudden, the golf ball is going to come out. And let's get some information on this, Gibbsy, because this is going to be a really interesting one. So what you saw with that is a launch angle of 9.5. Now, I know part of you say, well, listen, that's what you wanted to show. Yeah, you're right. But at the same time, it does influence your angle of attack. I still got the shot shape that I wanted, but I didn't get the launch that I wanted. And when I don't get the launch that I want, now all of a sudden this ball carries about 160 yards and it rolls out to 173. Why? Well, because my apex was only 40 feet and my descent angle is like 28 degrees and my spin rate's at 4,600. This is a 6-iron. Though the ball speed's at about 115 miles an hour. It's just all so much lower. Now, for those of you that cut the ball, you definitely don't want to be looking at the top of it. And for those of you that are hitting it low, you definitely don't want to be looking at the top of the ball. Where do you want to be looking? It's a good question. So the answer is one of two places. One, if I'm just trying to make solid contact and keep my shot shape, I'm going to look at the back part of the golf ball. Now, here's what you need to understand. So, Gibbsy, you're going to have to come on up here. So, when I have a golf ball, I hold a golf ball like this or like this. This golf ball is 1.68 inches in diameter, which means just simple math. It's 2 inches from top to bottom. It's not, but let's just say it is. 2 inches from here to here. When I look here, I'm actually looking 1 inch lower than this. Now, it's not 1 inch, it's half of 1.68. But the point is that when I look at the very back of the ball, I'm looking at the middle of the golf ball. Where here, you're looking at the top of the ball, here you're looking at the middle of the golf ball. And all of a sudden, that lowers where you're striking the ball. And that's going to give you a little bit more of a trajectory. Now, when you start thinking about hitting the back of the ball, you look down here, you're not looking anywhere up here. You're looking at literally the very back of the ball, that dimple that's right there. And now, what you get is a higher trajectory. Now, I pushed that to the right, not great. But what happened was the ball went up into the air. So I had a 79-foot apex, okay? And my backspin went up 5,500. And my descent angle went up to 43 degrees. So the golf ball, it didn't go the distance that I was trying to get it to go. I'm with you. I made a bad swing. But it only rolled out 3 yards. Why? Because I had more spin, I had a higher apex, and I had a higher descent angle. Now I'm going to hit a better shot. Okay? And this is important because you have to have, if you want consistency, I say this all the time, you want consistency, you've got to do something consistently. And in order to get a consistent strike, a consistent and predictable distance and apex and shot shape, you've got to look at the same place every single time. So you're looking at that back part of the golf ball, that dimple that's right there. Find the place where you want to start it. Find that dimple. Now, all of a sudden, I got the shot that I'm looking for. Now, again, had the shape right around my target. Now let's look at our information. Yeah, I got the backspin to 5,400. I like playing there. My launch angle went to 18. That's almost double what we had before. The apex, 82. The descent angle, 42.9. Similar. The ball rolled out 3 yards. There's some predictability there. Now, watch what happens when I do this, because there are other places if you're trying to draw the ball or fade the ball. So if I'm trying to hit a fade, I'm going to look on the top part of this, not on the top part of the ball there, but on the back part of the ball, but on the outside part. So I want to hit out here. That's going to influence me in what I'm doing with the path of this golf club as I'm out there. Now I get over there. Now I start the ball more to the left. Now what also happens is, because it's outside, come on up to the front again, because this will be interesting for you to see. Now, I started it more to the left, 5.6 degrees to the left. It's going to go lower because I'm hitting the outside part of the golf ball. So it's a steeper angle of attack, which means it's coming outside, from out to in more, which means the impact point's going to get higher when I look out there, right? And so all of a sudden, the launch angle goes to 14, the apex goes to 62, the descent angle goes to 36.6. The ball speed was still 114 miles an hour. So still pretty similar ball speed, only 1 mile an hour difference. Backspin, 5,000. So up there, yeah, I lose some because I'm a little steeper on that thing and I have a higher impact point. Now watch what happens when I want to hit draw. Now, and this is really for me because I'm a fade player, this is really going to start it more to the right, okay? But now what I'm going to do is go down the line, if you would, Gibbsy. What I'm going to do now is I'm going to look at a spot in here. So that's what I'm looking at, right back in there. So I see it down there. It's almost under the ball is what I'm seeing. So now I got to get into that. And what ends up happening is I felt myself hang back on that one. We obviously got a ball that was going to turn over a little bit more. The club face is going to get a little bit shut. Things are going to change a bit, right? So what changed? Well, obviously my spin rate changed. It went to 4,000. My ball speed went up. Or rather, the club head speed went up. The ball speed, I hit that a little fat. It's about 112, so a couple miles an hour slower. It still carried 170 and rolled out to 177, but that's the key. Because this had less backspin, it rolls out a little bit more, 7 yards instead of 3. The apex, 73. Launch angle, 17. Descent angle is at 38.6, so a little bit flatter, which is another reason why it rolls out. So if you're one of those people and you're wanting to hit a little bit of a draw with your driver, you want to take some spin out, you want to get a little bit better descent angle, maybe you want to look on the inside part of that golf ball. Now, the last place, and I never do this, but there are people who do this, okay? If you're hitting the ball fat, in other words, you're hitting the ground before the ball, there are a lot of people that look on the front side of the golf ball, okay? And there are people, like if you're one of those people that sways in your golf swing, you look at the front part of the golf ball, if you sway, you lose the front part. So if there's somebody that's a swayer, you go, okay, I want you to look at the front part of that golf ball and make sure you keep that in your, and all of a sudden what you're going to see is you're going to see somebody kind of hang out over here. You might even see the head go forward. Now, what do you think is going to happen to the shot? Exactly right. It's going to go lower. Perfect. So you look in here like this, and now you hit that shot there, and all of a sudden we've got one that's launching at 13 degrees, but the apex is 46. The launch angle is down. All those things are down. And now that was a miss hit for me. But I don't look at that thing. But I didn't sway. So when you start looking at the golf ball, it can affect and will affect what you do with your motion, what you do with your body. And obviously you want to marry it up with your shot shape. So if you want to draw the ball, look on the inside part of the golf ball. You want to hit a fade, look on the outside part of that golf ball. But always, I think, looking at the back of the golf ball, unless you are a slider. You're one of those people that's doing this, look on the front part of the golf ball. You start looking over there, you won't slide. Pay attention to where you're looking at the golf ball, and you can help fix your golf game. To improve all parts of your game, subscribe to my channel and click the link below.